11 years of experience working in the e-commerce sector with e-commerce giants like Tesco, Flipkart, Swiggy, and few D2C brands in shaping up their e-commerce strategy. I've worked along different domains like supply chain, marketing, consumer side, logistics, product, and all of this from an analytics point of view, right? So I'm here to help you guide on Tableau, your data visualization section, and I would um, encourage all of you to commit mistakes now. Have as many doubts as possible. Commit mistakes now rather than in your interviews or in your careers, right? Better to commit mistake and learn uh, at this stage. Okay. In that sense, what I also encourage is uh, you can interrupt me anytime in between the session. If you want to present your screens and ask me to guide you on your screen, more than happy to do that. Um, if you just say, hey, I didn't understand this, please explain again from XYZ point or from starting, right? More than happy to do that. Okay. So let's keep it open, lively. Okay. And yeah, please do not hesitate to speak. Don't think what will others think. Am I talking something silly, etc. It's okay. Be silly now. It's okay. I mean, be silly now. Otherwise, you will wish in future that had you been silly, it would have been better, right? So yeah, that's about it. The way we are going to do data visualization is we are going to do 4 sessions of Tableau. Okay, I'll tell you what each of those 4 sessions will entail. So 4 sessions of Tableau, which would be through one data set. Okay, and then we'll have case hours. Okay, that is the second data set for you to practice and try to answer that data set. Okay, for you to attempt it before we discuss. Yeah, it'll be 2 sessions of 1 hour each, and the last would be your third data set, which is your milestone project. Okay, which you will have to attempt, come to the session, showcase me your dashboard, and I give feedback. We discuss how to do things, etc. Okay, that's how we go ahead. So a total of 4 sessions plus 2 sessions of 1 hour each plus 1 session of 2 hours. Okay, a total of 8 plus 2 plus 2, 12 hours of discussion we'll have on Tableau. Okay, in the base sessions of 4 sessions, session number 1, we are going to look at okay, what's the job of an analyst, right? Uh, why visualization is important and how do you need to think about it? How to load data onto Tableau? But before that, how do you understand what the data is speaking about? Who's your audience? Who's going to look at your end project? What is the state of the mind of the audience, right? And to basically ensure your audience has the right takeaway, what is the kind of visualization or the analysis that you would showcase? We'll discuss that. We'll look through the data. We'll understand how to load data onto Tableau. How to do, you might have had SQL sessions, right? SQL sessions. We will see how to do joins. There's something called as a relationships in Tableau, how to do that. how to do basic data sorting, filtering, um, bit of aggregations, etc. This would be first session. Your second session would be, which we'll do today afternoon, would be more into functionality. Uh, we'll look at calculated fields, how to do calculated fields in Tableau, different functions, text functions, date functions, logical expressions, if else, when, case when functions, so on. We'll do that. And we'll also learn a bit of table calculations. Okay. We'll do that. And what else? Yeah. Yeah. More about table calculations, calculated field. We'll go a little bit into story building of the whole exercise, right? What are we trying to do? And as per your audience, what is the story that you want to build, right? So we do that in the second session with a bit of visualization. Okay. Third session, we'll learn one or two additional concepts. But 80-90% of the third session, this would be next weekend, would be focused on purely visualization and building of dashboard. Okay. Um, Last session, fourth session would be completing dashboard and building a storyboard. Okay. Storyboard is what is there in Tableau, right? After dashboard. So you can combine multiple dashboard. Storyboard is nothing but similar to your PowerPoint presentation, right? Just that this is more interactive. Okay. You can put filters, change things, and do all those stuff in Tableau. All right. So these are going to be your 4 sessions. Okay. Um, cool. I'll start with a quick question here. What is the role of an analyst in a company? Why would an organization want to hire an analyst?
To solve a problem through data.
To solve a problem through data. Okay. Okay. Any other answer?
Find insightful meaning
Sorry.
from data. Find meaning from the data to like help stakeholders or any other things or any person who needs that
So if
information.
I understand correctly, find meaning from the data and help your stakeholders. Okay. Okay. Fine. Manisha says to analyze data and take better decisions, better business decisions for the respective department or business. Very good. Almost close to the end point. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. What's the goal of any business or an organization?
Generate more revenue.
Generate more revenue. Okay. Near to the answer, but still, yes.
To solve customer problem and on through it.
Okay. Customer problem. Okay. Gaurav says growth and profit. Okay. To make money, folks. Okay. Objective of any organization is to make money for themselves, for its stakeholders. Okay. How do you make money? Okay. The means is through growth, through customer satisfaction, by solving problems, right? By making better business decisions. Okay. But the eventual goal is to make money. Yeah. As an analyst, you somehow have to influence the company in making decisions that eventually make money or save money or do or change a metric which eventually makes money or saves money, right? Nishant says monitor actionable metric affecting KPI to increase the revenue by resolving business underlying problems. Yeah, that is what you do, right? That is more like a task. Okay. We're talking more about objective, right? Objective is to make money. Yeah. Now, how does an analyst help? You need to see how does an organization make money, right? By following a path, by making a decision, by making a choice, etc. Right? Would you take a decision A versus decision B versus decision C? Okay. Yeah. So how do you decide that? Archana says clear, concise, consistent understanding and improving business problems. Okay. If you can influence the decision maker in the organization through your data, right? Backed by data, data based facts. Okay. That is when the decision maker gets confident to take a decision which you are recommending. Okay. And when they take a decision that you are recommending and it works out and it gives incremental cash flow or profit, etc., or growth CX, which will eventually lead to more profit, that is when your role and your outcome is fruitful. Okay. Typically, I see 4 levels of analyst. First level is just finding insights. Okay, finding insights, finding meaning through the data. Now, finding insights, okay, it's good, but it's just finding insights, right? What do we do with that? So, the second level of analyst is finds in actionable insights. Okay, okay. So, if you say insight that, hey, because of COVID, some business went low, etc., what do I do with that? How do I action it? Is it actionable? Right? Give me an actionable insight. Otherwise, okay, it might look, oh, nice, wow, right? It might be too interesting to look at the visualization, etc. But if the insight is not actionable, it's not useful. Okay. Yes. So, second level is give actionable insight. Okay. Third level, one step further, is you recommend specific actions. Okay. For example, business of an organization is low because of one business vertical. Let's say, let's say you are a Flipkart. Okay. Let's say your business is dipping and you discover that large appliance business is dipping, like television, washing machine, etc., refrigerator, so on and so forth. Okay. Uh, Now, if you just say this category is uh, decreasing and hence causing the overall decrease, it's actionable, right? You know that you have to focus on this category. But are you going to the core point of the actionable and recommending that it is low because the prices on our platform are higher than, um, like, let's say you're a Flipkart and you say are higher than Amazon or Blinkit or etc. Right? So we are bad at pricing or delivery time or product details being showcased. Yeah. So basically, you have to go to the depth of it and recommend actions. Okay. You can't just say pricing is bad. Okay. Is it actionable when you say our pricing is higher than Amazon? It's actionable, definitely. You know that, okay, we need to work something on the pricing front. But then you have to recommend action. You have to say that, hey, these are the top 3 products. Okay. Reduce the price of the top 3 products by 10%, 15%, 20%, or give a one time discount of 30%, so on and so forth. Right. So these are actions that you're actually recommending them to do. Yes. The fourth one, Fourth level is you've done all the hard work, found insight, found the filter, the actionable insight, went to the depth of it, recommended actions, etc. Have you contributed to the organization fully? Have you contributed to the goal of organization? Yes. By recommending specific actions, have you contributed to the goal of the organization? If you say reduce price, do this, do that, etc., you recommended your action in front of leadership and the responsible person. Is your job done? So Manisha is right. She says we also have to show how this thing is contributing to the end business goal, right? Calculative actions, yes, you will recommend calculative actions, but eventually it has to turn to the business goal, right? Make money. Yeah, directly or indirectly. Yes. So are business decision eventually being made based on your recommendation? If they're not being made, your work is gone to the drain. Yes. You need to ensure that basis what you are recommending, actions are being taken, decisions are being made. And then you track what is the goodness those decisions are bringing in. This is how you contribute to an organization as an analyst. I hope this is clear. If there's any doubt, please let me know. Okay, I'll uh, I'm just uploading 3 files on the chat. These are the files that we are going to work with, and also on your Nextly portal, you might have an option to download Tableau. Okay, please do that. Please use that link. Download. If others are unable to find, someone please post that link. That is one way. I'll just put it here. Download from Nextly portal. Option 1. Option 2. Sign up on Tableau public and download. 3 is, I would not recommend 3. Web usage of Tableau. You can open it through a browser. Okay. But I would not recommend this. The reason being a lot of functionalities are curtailed in this one. Okay. Now take the 3 files and put it in a separate folder. Users, restaurant orders, put it in a separate folder, download Tableau. I'll give you 3-4 minutes. Please try to ensure and please put it in the chat once you're done. Download files and put it in a separate folder.
Harshit, have you given the link for downloading the Tableau also? I'm not able to get it.
Varun, the side, the link should be there on your Nextly portal. Are others able to find it? Anyone who's downloaded?
So I have found the link on the website, but I'm going through the page where it shows for the download option.
Okay, can you just
I have downloaded Tableau Public.
Okay, Vaishali, thanks. Vaishali, can you just share the link to others?
ये निशान share.
Okay, great, great. Also download these 3 files, users, restaurant, orders. Just put it in a separate folder. Folks, again at 10:25, we'll start, okay? We'll start doing that. So you have 3-4 minutes. I'm giving you sufficient time. Please download and please download these 3 files, keep it in a separate folder. Okay, folks, we'll begin. I'll just present my screen. We go through the data first. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we have 3 files: orders, users, restaurants. Okay, let's go through each one of them and understand what it has. Ignore the first column. Orders table has order date, sales quantity, sales amount, currency. For now, for simplicity, you can assume everything is INR. User ID, RID. RID is restaurant ID. Unique identifier for user and restaurant. So if you have to explain a table, one row, on 10th October 2017, okay, this user on this restaurant did sales of 41,000 and with a quantity of 100. Okay, this is what roughly the data is about. Okay, so what is this data about? Okay, this data is about a food delivery platform. Okay, food delivery platform. This user from this restaurant on this date did so much sales. Okay, this is one table, orders table. Let's go to restaurant table. Restaurant table has ID, restaurant ID, restaurant name, city, rating of the restaurants, how many ratings are there. So there's a bucket, too few ratings, 50 plus, 20 plus, 100 plus, so on. Cost, typical cost of ordering. Cuisine, what cuisine does it serve? You can take the first cuisine as the primary cuisine. Then you have license number, link to the menu, address, the menu JSON. You can ignore these, but so this is the information you have on restaurants. Okay, then you have your users table. Users table has user ID, username, email, password. Probably wouldn't use these two. Age, gender, marital status, occupation, monthly income group, educational qualification group, and family size. Okay. Now, can you relate these 3 tables? Is there anything common between these 3 tables?
User ID and restaurant ID.
Yeah. User ID is common between orders and users. Restaurant ID is common between orders and restaurants. If you have to use all these 3 data sets, you need to perform joins, typically in SQL. Okay. We'll do that later when we open up Tableau. My question is, with this information, okay, let us explore who are all the possible stakeholders, internal, external, third party companies. Let's say if this data is available in public, right, or if this data is being sold, who would be interested in this data? There will be a lot of parties interested. So you can keep telling what kind of organizations, what kind of businesses, etc., would be interested in this data. Let us for a second assume this is Zomato's data or Swiggy's data. Yeah. Who would be interested in this?
Competitors.
Competitors, number one competitor. So if this is Swiggy's data, Zomato would be interested. Okay. Who else?
Investors if it's a public company.
Investors. Okay, fine. Investors will check how's the trend, sales trend, etc. Fine. Who else? Come on, folks. Wrong answers, welcome. No answer, not welcome. Wrong answers, more than welcome. Wrong is me. What is wrong in this also? Silly answers, welcome. Who would be interested in this data? Would restaurants be interested in this data?
It could be to check like their specialty or whatever is selling high, so that they can look into it and improve.
Okay, so Harsh is saying they'll check whatever is selling more. They can look into it and explore. There, in the real world, it works. But here, in this data, we do not have item details. Okay. Manisha says restaurant business, quick commerce services, Zepto, Blinkit, etc. sales team to the respective businesses. Okay, what would restaurants? Let's say you are a what are the other pizza brands except for Domino's and Pizza Hut, which are popular? Lapinos or Vanesta? Yeah. Let's say you are a pizza company, Lapinos. What would you be interested in? Or if that's difficult, let's take a common player here. McDonald's. What would McDonald's be interested in?
They can check the sales of other restaurants in the similar category and analyze if their revenue is lower than them or
Correct. Okay. So great starting point, Arun. So they will look at similar restaurants. Let's be specific. Okay. Let's say McDonald's, right? They would look at Burger Cuisine. Let's say they would look at Burger King per se. What would they look at Burger King? Manisha is saying high margin product. Sorry, product details we don't have in this data set. If we had, definitely, I agree what you're saying. Let's say product details we don't have in this data set. What would McDonald's look at from a Burger King?
Selling ratio.
Sorry, selling?
Selling ratio. Which product sells high and low?
Correct. In the real world, yes. But in this data set, we don't have product information, no?
Impact of days and date on the sales quantity.
Okay. Very nice answer. Harsh is saying impact of days on the sales quantity. So basically he's saying how's the seasonality, right? What weeks, what months, what days of the week sell more for the other brand versus yours. So what can you do, etc. Which is fair. That's one. What else?
User category, like regional based.
Sorry, Gaurav.
Region based user category.
If you can be a little bit more specific so that I can understand better.
Like I can see there is currency being used as INR as well as USD. So maybe they
let's ignore that. Let's take it all INR for now. Right.
Okay.
Regional, when you said regional, okay, I'll just give a clue out here. Are McDonald's and Burger Kings there in all the locations? All the cities in India?
No.
No, that is the clue. Are they there in same number of cities?
No. Yeah. So maybe some locations are doing better, then they can expand the business there.
Correct. So if Burger King is open in a location where McDonald's is not, and Burger King is doing good sales, yes.
Right.
Yeah, it is obvious, no, for McDonald's to go and open a store over there, right?
Right.
So where is the competitor doing well? Yeah, as Manisha also says, sales as per the location. So you look at the competition, you see where are they doing well, and am I present over there or not? right? So McD would look at Burger King. McD would also look at burger as a cuisine, right? Maybe there would be locations where Burger King is also not there, McDonald's is also not there, but some local player is doing great business in burgers, right? Um, so they can check the trend of burger as a cuisine. How is it growing? If it is growing and you as a brand are not there, you can go ahead and expand over there, right? So expansion is one thing restaurants can look at. Okay. Would marketing agencies be interested in this data? Third party marketing agencies? Yeah. They would know what kind of user cohort is transacting in what city and how much are they spending, right? They would know whom should they target: student, employees, graduate, postgraduate, etc. Yeah. Third party marketing agencies can run social media ads on these customers. Okay. Logistics providers like Porter, right? Or third party companies like Shadowfax, which provides delivery riders to food delivery platforms. So they see if there is a particular city which is growing in terms of number of orders month on month, week on week, year on year. What they do is they'll have to deploy more riders. They'll have to hire more riders. So they would be interested in this data. Yeah. One last thing, uh, as an example, a real world example. You know how Swiggy expanded to tier 2 cities by looking at what data? They wanted to, they were not there in a lot of tier 2 cities. Okay. They wanted to expand to tier 2 cities. Manisha is saying real estate industry. Manisha, is your question to the Swiggy one or the previous? Is your answer to the previous one or the current question? It's a question. Real estate industry, definitely. Okay, so you're saying would real estate industry be interested in this? Definitely, most definitely. Very good answer. Right. So you know family size, you know how much they are spending, what kind of would they want a 2 BHK, 3 BHK villa, etc. What would they want? How much are they spending, etc. Most definitely, great answer. Right. Moving forward, Swiggy, right? As I was saying, how did Swiggy move on to tier 2 cities? On what basis did they make a decision that we have to launch in this tier 2 city? They looked at the sales of washing machines. I repeat, washing machines. Can anyone guess why? Why would you look at the sales of washing machine when you're trying to expand your food delivery to a tier 2 city? Sounds absurd. Yeah, sorry, someone.
No, basically, if they don't want to wash the plates or stuff like that, it's easier that, instead of cooking, it's easier to get the food delivered.
Darshan, 95% you're there. Correct. But what is the core emotion, core user behavior?
If a family have appliance like washing machines and other things like that, then they must have the additional time to leisure activities like going to restaurants or trying new foods. So that's why maybe.
You're also 98, 99% there, right? So they could have washed the clothes by themselves. Okay. But then they invested money into a machine which would reduce their effort. Okay. And buying washing machine at that time was seen as a disposable income. It's called disposable income. So if you have disposable income, buy a washing machine, and to reduce your manual effort of washing clothes, sometimes you would definitely have disposable income to not take the effort to cook at home and order something from outside. It's easily available. Okay. So disposable income is the key. Yeah. So I just did this quick exercise to ensure that you all don't just think in one direction. Uh, you think horizontally as well as vertically, right? Uh, yeah. So there could be different use cases. Now, the role of you as an analyst for the next 3.5 sessions is, let's say this is Swiggy data, and you are a analyst inside the company. You or your team have been given the task to analyze the sales trend. The CEO said, hey, the sales trend is on a declining path quarter on quarter, right? I want you to analyze and um, help me take decisions which will um, resist this downtrend and bring in a positive trend, or at least flat in the short term, right? Why is the sales trend down and how can we correct it, right? I want you and your team, right, to do this analysis and present me in 3 weeks, okay, on this with clear actionables and timeline and what the decisions need to be made and the expected impact. Okay, this is how, being in a lot of CEO rooms, this is how the CEOs typically function, right? They have a clear ask. Okay, yeah, I'm giving you the clear ask. Sales is declining. What is the reason? What is the cause? Why is it declining? Do thorough RCA, recommend actions. How should we correct it? Who should correct it? When should they correct it? What should they do? What investment do you require? Get all the details. In 3 weeks, get everyone in the room. Let's discuss. Let's take the action. Let's move forward. Yeah. This is what the CEO would typically do. Yes. Okay. I think enough of the brainstorming discussions. Let's go to Tableau. Okay. I request you all to open your Tableau books. I hope you have all kept the 3 files in a separate folder. I'll just quickly present my screen. One moment. Can you see my screen, the Tableau screen? Yeah. Okay. So on the Tableau screen, this would be blank for you because you wouldn't have done any of the analysis. Left side, you have connections. Don't click on any of these. I'll tell. Wait. Can connect to an Excel or a text file. The files we have is CSV, so you'll have to use text file. JSON, Microsoft Access, PDF, all these options. You can connect to your servers. Typically in the organization, you do that. You can connect to Google Sheets, right? So you can do all that. We go here and click on text file because we've saved it as CSV. We go to a folder where we have saved. Okay. So I've saved it in something called Swiggy test. I have 2 additional files. You can ignore that. Click on one of these files. You don't have to click on all the 3. Okay. Click on one of the files and just go open. Okay. I repeat for those who didn't know, you can connect through multiple ways, through servers, through Google Sheets, through Excel, through text file. Here we do text file because it's in CSV format. We had to store it in a separate folder. We go to the folder, we click on one of the files and we say open. Okay. When we do that, this page opens. This is called as data source page. Okay. What did I click on? I clicked on orders file. So the path will be taken into consideration by Tableau, and all the files that are there in the path are being put over here. Okay. So all the files are over here. Okay. Just so this is a blank space. What I can do is I can drag and drop one of the tables here. Okay. So what does this showcase? This showcases here this drop down would have whatever is there on the screen, those drop downs would be there over here. This shows the preview. Okay. These are the data types. You click on this. Yeah. For example, order date. When you click on it, what is the data type? Date. When you click on sales amount, the data type is number whole. Yeah. When you click on RID here, the data type is number decimal. Yes. And here you again have just the description of the table. Okay. Type, field name. What is the table? A remote field name. Yeah. Same thing. Now, you know joins, right? Through your SQL sessions. Folks.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So as we go towards join, any doubts? Anyone wants a minute or two more to load the data and do this? Okay. Should I assume that you all are on track? Someone needs a minute or two, please message. It's fine. Okay, then I'll move ahead. What you need to do is you need to click on this drop down. Okay, go to open option. I repeat, click on the orders drop down, go to open option. Now let's take users table. I'll just drag and drop users table just beside it. Okay, drag and drop just beside it. Do you see this Venn diagram? Two circles intersecting. Yeah. You go ahead and click on this. Even before you click, right, it shows here. If you just hover around it, it shows inner join of two tables. But let's click around it. You can choose here inner join, left join, right join, outer join, etc. But what is the common key? Common key is not F1. Common key is user ID from both the tables. This is how you do a join. Okay, is performing join clear?
Can you come again? Like, how did you do that?
From starting?
No, like this one. How did you pick the user table over there and this join?
Okay. I'll just remove this. Okay. What I did is I clicked on user table. Okay. Before that, orders table was there. Okay. I clicked on the drop down. I said open. I clicked on users table. I dragged it, just placed beside orders table. Just place and drop it. Okay. Automatically, you will have this join.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. The join is clear for everyone. The problem with join is, folks, join is a static operation. It's an action you're taking, right? Join is a performative action. Okay, so you're performing. Yes, you do inner join, both the other sides remain. You do left join, the right side remains, so on and so forth. Okay, join is more static in nature, right? So you basically do something. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just remove this. There is another concept called as relationship. Okay, now join, how would you do? You would do open this and then drag and drop. Don't open it, just drag and drop. Okay, you can see this line. Yeah, just place it beside. So a relationship is formed. What is the difference between join and relation? Join is you're performing an action. Relation is just, it is just linking. Okay, it is just creating a connecting link. That's all. Okay, it is not performing any action, just linking, just ensuring that both the tables are somehow linked to each other. Okay, now in this drop down, here you will see two tables, right? We have two tables, orders, users, and we have this relationship. Okay, now it throws an error. Okay, you can go and see here. What is the error? Relationship has no matching fields. Relationship should also have a common key. Okay, now let's go and do a common key over here. What is common between orders and users? User ID. User ID here, user ID here. Yeah, is the relationship formed now? Yes. These two tables are now connected. You are not doing a join, you're just connecting those two tables. Yes. Similarly, can you do relationship between orders and restaurants table? Yeah, take a minute. Try to do between orders and restaurants table. Anyone able to do or getting some error, please let me know. Happy to help.
Hi, everyone.
Sorry, Manisha, can't hear you. I think your the volume is very low. If you can come closer to the mic. Yeah.
I want to ask, I mean, do we have to add the users, oh, sorry, the restaurant beside users or next to users, or like we have to create a separate relationship?
See, is there anything common between users table and restaurant table?
I think it was restaurant ID or something like that.
Can you just check once? Is there
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
common between users and restaurant table?
I'll just check.
I don't think there's any common key between users and restaurant table. So you can't form a relationship between users and restaurant table directly. Yes. Yeah. Can anyone answer what is it common with?
Orders and restaurant is common with F1.
Correct. Not F1. F1 is some random first column. You ignore that. What is the common key between orders and restaurants? Harjot
It
needs
is RID.
RID, right? Correct. Yes. RID. So please try to form a relationship with orders and restaurants through RID. Anyone wants to showcase their screen and wants me to guide them? More than happy to do. You'll not forget it if you do it that way. I just shared the files again, yeah. Can you just check? Prem and Harjot. Yes, anyone wants to showcase their screen? No. Okay. No worries, yeah. Good opportunity. You're leaving it. Okay, someone is presenting. Who's presenting? Sorry. I don't get the name.
Yeah, go to this side.
Gaurav. Okay, great. Gaurav,
So
you try to create a relationship with restaurant also. Nice, yeah. Can you go to the drop down and filter the newer relationship between orders and restaurant?
this one, right?
Okay, what is the common key?
We have RID and in restaurants we have ID, but it is saying
Yes. Can Gaurav or anyone on the call tell me why is this error coming?
maybe IDs are
Mhm.
not formatted.
It's a type
Or-
mismatch.
Type mismatch, data type mismatch, right? I don't know who answered that, but right answer. Yes, data type mismatch. What do you do? Okay, let's say we figured that there was a data type mismatch. What do you do?
We try to identify a format between them and then format it.
Mhm. See, data type mismatch means what could have happened. ID is what? Number, right? Correct?
Yeah.
ID is a number. Can you check what is the data type of ID?
Here in the
Yes, data type. Where do you see left side? Type is there, no?
this one
First
data
column, type. First column,
okay,
type.
and number. It's
This is
whole
what?
number.
Whole number. And
Yeah.
the other one would be decimal number. Just check it in orders table.
Order table, RID. It is decimal number.
Yes, what do you do?
Should we mark it as whole? Yeah.
No, no, no. You never know. You always need to go to the more detailed version. So you need to go to restaurant table and make it as decimal over there.
Okay.
Go to
So-
ID, left side, data type of ID. Yes. Make it decimal. Has the error gone now?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it clear to everyone? You need to have same data type when you are creating connection. You can't have a whole number and a decimal number to be the common key. The data type should be same. Yes.
So why did we make this one as decimal instead? We could have made orders.
So you always need to go to the detailed version. Okay. So decimal is a detailed version, right? Because what can happen is if you are going from a detailed version to one level higher, right? Data might get lost.
Good.
Yeah. Cool.
But type of data here is on ID. So how does it matter if it's decimal or not? Because it will be, I mean, IDs aren't most probably decimal values.
You can check and change. But typically when you are going um, into lower details, right? Lesser details, you tend to lose data. You can just check on this screen itself. You can try to do orders. Let's try it. Let's go to orders table and make the ID as whole. Go down. Yeah. Number whole. And go to restaurant table. You might be getting here as well. Now just choose the relationship. Yes, relationship review is not there. Just go to one moment. The only way we can check is this is what table is showing restaurant. Go and check orders table. Pawan, is it not visible for you? Oh, it's presenting, no? Okay, anyways, I'll do it on my screen also. Yes, I'll do it on my screen also. Yeah, but Gaurav, if you saw, when you went to orders table, the RID was showing null, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the issue here whenever you go to higher levels. Okay. I'll just show it for everyone's visibility. Restaurant table. I put it over here. Just a moment. Then I select common key. Visit one moment. Make this number decimal. Okay. So I do this. The relationship is formed here. Is it clear? Pawan, is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, folks, the way you have this Tableau structure is there is something called a sheet, okay, worksheet. Okay, I'll give you an analogy. And there's something called as dashboard. There's square symbol, and this book symbol is something called as story. What are these three? If I have to give you an analogy to Microsoft, your worksheet is nothing but your pivot table or pivot charts. Okay, pivot table, pivot charts. Your data source is nothing but your raw file. Okay. Worksheets are your pivot table, pivot charts, etc. Dashboards are nothing but your a slide of your presentation. One slide of your presentation, you can call it as dashboard. Multiple slides put together form a overall presentation. Multiple dashboards and visualization put together form a overall story over here. Okay. So during the course of these 4 sessions, we'll get into details of each. Okay. Now I'll go to worksheet. Just a moment, it's loading. Yes. Okay. Let's go one by one. Okay. Do not complicate. Do not think there's so many things over here. Okay. Left side is where your tables are there. Orders, restaurants, users. Okay. These 3 tables are there. You click on this, it expands. Okay. Now, in each table, you have all the columns or your fields. Can someone share the files to Pawan? Right? That would be very helpful. Pawan needs the files. Someone please share. In each of the table, can someone please acknowledge would be very helpful. I just want to ensure that the flow is clear.
Yeah.
Thanks, Manisha.
I have shared them on the chat.
Thanks, Arun. Thank you.
Mm.
In orders table, in all the tables, you see there's a gray line. Okay, there are some fields above and some fields below. Even in the restaurant table and in the users table. Just by looking, let's take only orders table. Ignore F1 as a column, ignore this. Just take sales. Just take order date, RID, and user ID. Okay. What do you think is gray line? What does it separate? There is something called as dimensions and measure, folks. Okay. I will call the fields above gray line as dimensions, the fields below gray line as measures. Okay. Does anyone want to take a guess? What are dimensions and measures?
On measurement, we can perform the arithmetic operations, and on the dimension, we can't.
Yes, Nishant, you're almost 90% there. On dimensions also we can do, but we'll come to that later. Yes.
Non-parametric statistical office like operators we can perform on the dimension table, but
yeah. So, right. So you can, in simple words, right? If I have to explain in plain English, simple words, you can have monthly level sales, restaurant level sales, user level sales. Okay. Those levels, right? User level, month level, restaurant level, those are dimensions. Yeah. At what level are you measuring? So you can say dimension level measure. What are you measuring? Sales amount, sales quantity, rating, cost, right? All these things you can measure, right? So you can do some average, median, etc., etc. Right? So these are your measures. City level sales. City is dimension, sales is measure, right? So dimension, level, measure in simple words. Can dimensions also be measured? Yes. You can do count of users. You can do count of restaurants. Yes. So you can do that. Okay. So you have dimensions and measures. Okay. So this is the left side, which will have all the fields, all the tables and the fields. Okay. This is your visualization part. Either you can do table or do some visualization here. What do you want in columns? What do you want in rows, etc.? You can put, okay, I want order date in column, so you can put it that way. Prem restaurant to users table we can't connect because there is no common key. We connected restaurants to orders table through restaurant ID. Can someone else share the files with Pawan?
Sorry, I got the file, but I'm getting this option, this error. This content can't be viewed here on the chat.
Okay. Just do one thing. If you folks have a WhatsApp group or some group with all your learners, someone can paste it over there. Let's see if that works.
Someone could you check with the files that I have shared with you?
Actually, when I was opening the files, there was option enable macros or disable. So I enabled them and it got open. So have you checked the other option or?
I'm checking I've not received any message also. Just the chat I've been looking at, and this file shows error for me.
Pawan, you tried both the files shared by Manisha as well as
Yes, yes. On both the files, I'm getting this.
okay. You can do one thing here. If you have a WhatsApp group, just try to share over there. Maybe that would work. Or um, you can put in your mail ID and someone can share it to your mail ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
पहले message होता है.
Yeah. So we were talking about dimension measures, right? So we have columns and rows over here. So you can put various things in columns and rows. Let's say I put city in rows. Okay. How will it showcase? So it says the field being added may contain as many as 2000 members. Maximum recommended for the shelf is 1000. What do you want to do? We'll say it's okay. Add all members for now. Okay. Yes. Now I've put city in rows. Okay. This comes as a table. Here you have options, pages you can ignore. We'll cover that later. Here is filters, right? Whatever you want to do filtering, this just think of this as a very nice version of Excel pivot. Okay. So you have filters here and you have marks here. Basically, I want the color of the data to be basis some field. I want size to be basis some field, text to be basis something. We'll go deep into this as we explore more visualizations. Okay. Don't want to bombard you with a lot of things. Okay. Now, city is a dimension. Okay. Sorry. City is the dimension. So when I put it, it comes as it is. But when I just say drag and drop sales amount, when I drag and drop sales amount, it doesn't see here. What is it showing? Sum of sales amount. It doesn't come as it is. Because it's a measure, Tableau automatically does sum of sales amount. I can put sum of sales amount here like this. Okay. If I put everything will be sum of sales amount. Either I can do that or I can take sum of sales amount and put it in text. Okay. Both are one and the same. Yes. We'll learn sorting now. Okay. What are the different ways of sorting? What do we want to sort? Let's say this is a table. We want to sort cities. Okay. So what you do, you go and click on the drop down here. This is an option to sort. Okay. What is the way in which you want to sort? Let's say data source order. That means in your data source, whatever order it is, sort it in ascending or descending in that way. Or you have alphabetic. So you say alphabetic ascending or alphabetic descending. You sort it that way. Or you have manual. Okay, I'll come to field. Let's say you want Yavatmal to be the topmost one. You can click like this. Yavatmal goes to the topmost one. You want white field, which is over here, just 2 place up. 1 place, 2 place. Right? White field comes here. So you can do a manual sorting as well. Nested is something when you have multiple columns that we will eventually do. We'll tell you by field. Okay. You can sort by a field which is not there in the visualization. Okay. So you can, let's say, sort by sum of sales amount descending. That means topmost sales will come first. Or you can do basis sum of sales quantity descending. In your visualization, you only have sales amount, but still we are sorting it by sales quantity. You can also do that. Okay, not an issue. But let's say we do sum of sales amount. Yes. This is how we can showcase. This is the top to bottom cities. Okay. So different ways of sorting by the basic order, which is there in the raw file, by alphabetic, by manual sorting, or sorting through a specific field, which may be there in the visualization, which may not be there in the visualization. Okay. Is it clear? You can also do sorting basis count of restaurant IDs. can do that very well. Okay. Yeah. So you can do sorting basis anything which is there in the visualization, not there in the visualization. So let's go back to sales amount. Is sorting clear?
Varun, I was just
Yes.
trying along with you, and
Yeah.
when I drag and dropped sales amount uh, into the cities column,
Hmm.
there is a field coming as null with the total, but rest of the fields against each city, I can't see any of the details.
Okay. Do you want to showcase your screen?
Yeah. So I verified that the IDs are coming fine. The relationship is correct.
Just go to orders table. Show me orders table once.
Yes, orders table. RID
Okay.
there.
And restaurant table.
Restaurant table. ID
Okay.
is decimal. Both have
Yeah.
decimal.
Yes.
This is
Go
correct.
to sheet 1.
Sheet 1.
Why is this not appearing here?
So pretty.
Everything is coming as null, is it?
Yeah, let me try something.
So this essentially means there's some error in your join, okay? But let's see in your relationship. But you can try it once again.
Okay. So
Sales amount.
Sales amount.
Yeah. Can you guess why I said there is some error with your relationship? Because it is not mapping RID to RID. Right? That is why everything is coming as null. Go to data source.
Yes.
Select the relationship between orders and restaurant.
Orders and restaurant. There is no join.
No, this is a relationship, right? Why did you add 3 separate connections?
How this one?
Yeah. You could have
So
just saved it in a separate folder.
Okay, I thought you meant each one.
No.
Okay.
All 3 in one single folder.
Okay. Got it. So I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'll just present my screen again. Yeah. So these are city-wise sales. Okay. This is your sorting. Okay. Quickly just try it for a minute. Anyone who's not getting can let me know.
Can you please do this sum of sales amount? How did you put this and where? In text or size? What?
Yeah. I'll just showcase it again. One moment. So what I do is I'll remove this. When I just drag sales amount here, it automatically becomes sum. Okay. Because it's a measure. It has to do some aggregation. By default, Tableau does sum. Okay. Now, just for you to play with, right? Make silly mistakes.
Varun, I have one question here. While we are adding cities as a row, so this is the calculation which we are performing on the rows, right?
Yes.
Some amount.
Yes.
And if you want to add some more rows, also will this calculation affect and how it will be?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. So we are adding cities in rows and we're putting sum of sales amount over here. If you want to add additional rows, I didn't get the question.
No additional columns. So will that affect like how we are working into the Excel sheets and how it is different from that?
Okay, this will not affect. For example, let's say I want to add more columns. Okay, let's say I want to add gender as a column. So I can put gender in columns and it'll show me separately. Male, female. This is the sales amount, is what it will show gender wise. Now let's say not just sales amount. Let's say I want to put sales quantity also beside it. I can do that. I can again put this in text. This appears as 2 rows. There's an option called show me button, okay, which will give you standard format. You can go to show me button. First option, it's called table. You can click on it. It'll show it this way. Did I answer your question or I?
Thank you. I got the answer.
You got the answer? Okay. Yes, I'll just go back. We'll do this. We'll do more of this as we go forward. The question from Nishant, I guess, was how do you get sum of sales? You just drag here. Automatically, it will be sum. I'll tell you later if you want to change sum to average, etc. How to do it. Okay. Yeah. So this is how city-wise sales would show. Okay.
Got it. Thanks.
Now let's say I want to filter. Okay. What all ways of filtering are there? I can put city in filter. Okay. So I have to just drag and drop city in filter. There are multiple ways to filter. Okay. We'll go one by one. General filter, wildcard filter, condition filter, top filter. Okay. I'll explain each one of them. Don't worry. General filter, select from list. Just say all. Apply. Okay. Go to this and say show filter. When you say show filter, it appears to the right hand side. Okay. There are multiple ways to filter. Single value list filter. Basically, it's saying that list will be there, but you can only filter single value, only one value. Okay, this is one way to do. Second is drop down filter. Again, single value, you go and click on one. Just different ways of visualization. Single value slider, probably not that useful here, but you can slide and filter out cities. Multiple value list. So you can, instead of one city, you can filter 2, 3 cities, whatever. Multiple values drop down. Yeah, same way. Multiple values custom list, you search for it and you basically search for it, keep adding this way. Okay. And there's something called as why this, let this be there. Okay. Now we'll just remove filter again. Okay. Yeah. Just for repetition, this is where you add filter. This is where you select from list. What you can do is second option is wildcard. Okay. So wildcard matches, you just type a part of the string and it gives you filters for all. Okay. So either you can do contains or you can do starts with a particular letter or ends with a particular letter or set of letters or does the exact match. We'll do contains. Sorry, here. Yeah, here you have wildcard match. So you click on wildcard match. Now, for example, if I want to filter for Pune, I just type Pune and all the rows which have Pune in it appear. Okay. Just FYI, the city column is not clean. We'll eventually clean it. Okay. We'll do that in the second session. There are certain functions which I'll explain. If I search for Bangalore, I get Bangalore. If I search for Gurgaon, I get all Gurgaon, right? So this is wildcard match. Is wildcard match clear?
Could you please explain it one more time, please?
Yes, sure. So here you have options for multiple value list, etc. You have wildcard match. Okay, what have we set in wildcard condition? Okay, if you check in wildcard condition, we are saying contains, right? So we are saying contains. So whatever I type here, whatever rows contain what I've typed will showcase. For example, let's say if I type Mumbai, whichever rows have Mumbai as a keyword, it will showcase. It will filter that. If I just say poor, right? Whatever ends with poor or anywhere in between, even this Purulia, Zikarpur, wherever you have this keyword in between, it showcases that. You search for Delhi, all Delhi locations showcase.
Okay, so Varun, here we are putting a pure text thing. Like
Correct.
in SQL and all, we have that versatile, and we are actually chasing with the starting a detail should be this or the ending detail. Even we can put filter in that way in SQL. So do we have that
Yes, yes,
option
you
here
have
as
that.
well?
Yes,
How
you
we are
have that.
using that?
You can use that. I'll probably take this bit more in the second session, but
Okay,
I'll
fine.
just give you a quick view. Okay. Yeah, I'll just give you a 1 minute glance. So you have, when you click on this, right, this automatically made some. You
Mm.
remember when we
Yeah,
dragged? Now
yes.
you click on this, you go to measure, right? You go to measure, and this has option for sum, average, median, count distinct, min, max, percentile, etc. You
Mhm.
you select whatever measure you want to, and then there is an option here to go and filter basis that. You can
Okay,
do percentiles and do a filtering basis percentile. You can showcase that way also. Okay, we'll go into a bit more detailing with respect to all the aggregations in the second session. Okay.
okay,
Yeah. So this is wildcard filter. Okay. The next kind of filter is your condition filter. Okay. Conditions. What can I do? I can go and filter by a condition called as sum of sales amount. Okay. For example, I want to filter those cities where sum of sales amount is greater than, let's say, 1 CR. Okay. I'll just click on apply. So these show. Okay. Or 70 lakhs. Right. More number of rows. So I can filter by a condition. I can also filter by count distinct of restaurant ID. Right. Where I say restaurants are at least 1,000. Okay. So I can do those kind of filters as well. Yeah. I can do that as well. Yes, clear?
although we have chosen rows as a city, but we can use the whole sheet and put filter according to the sheet. It is not something that if we have selected only one
Ah,
column,
right,
one row. So this is
right.
not specific to it. And in journal, we are using the whole sheet. And can we say that we are using all the relationship
Yes,
sheet
yes,
which we have
perfect.
used? Okay.
Yes, perfect. Perfect, exactly. Right.
Okay. And
We are
conditioner
using
can be put onto the sub.
others as well. For example, uh, if you want, what I'll do is I'll give another example. Okay. What I'll
Means the
do is I'll,
conditional can be put on the calculation we are gonna put like some of the sales amount. This is something which we are putting extra on the sheet, and we have some existing field, so we can put condition on both the things. We do not have any
yes, yes,
restriction.
no
Okay.
restriction. You can do on both the things. Okay. Now, instead of city, I'm putting restaurants. Okay. Restaurants over here. Okay. Here also, I have a shortcut option to do a sorting. Okay. You don't have to always go here and do sorting. I just do top to bottom and I get this. Okay. Topmost restaurant by sales amount. I can go to, see, I don't have to always do filter from here. I can go to this and do a filter. Okay. I can say select from a list. I can just say exclude null and zero. Okay. Can say apply. Okay. Goes and sits here. What I can also do is I can go to edit filter. There is an option called as stop. Okay. What does this do? Similar to condition, it is very similar to condition. I can filter top 5 restaurants. Okay, what are we filtering? The restaurants. I can filter top 5 restaurants by sum of sales. Okay, I can filter top 5 restaurants by sum of sales amount. Instead of top 5, if I do top 7, I can do that. Okay, clear? Now, can you tell me what should happen when I filter for Bangalore? What should show? In simple words, who are the top 2 richest people in India? Quick answer, folks. Quite sure you'd know this.
Ambani's.
Ambani's and Adani's.
Adani's.
Right? Okay, top 2, Ambani, Adani. Okay, fine. Who are the top 2 richest people in Gurgaon? Will it be Ambani's and Adani's? Will it be that? Maybe someone different, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
obviously.
DLF. I don't know how much Dipinder Goyal has made, but he could also be in the list, right? So different people. Yeah. Now, just think that as an analogy. In India, right? Because we have not filtered for any city, top 7 restaurants are Domino's, Cousina, Sweet Truth, Pizza Hut, Ubba Holly, Biryani, Baskin Robbins. Okay. Now let us say I filter for Bangalore. I filter for Bangalore. Is it showing expected result? What is wrong with the result? Can someone tell me? What is wrong with the result when I filter for Bangalore?
I guess we have filtered out first top 5 and then we are filtering for Bangalore. So Bangalore is not in top 5. So
Somewhere you're there, Arun, but uh, articulation can be better. But we didn't filter top 5, right? We filtered top 7, if you remember. Why are only 5 restaurants showing? Because in the example that I gave you, it is not giving me who are Gurgaon's top 2 richest people. It is taking all India's top 2 richest people and giving me their wealth in Gurgaon. That is not something which I require. Why this happens is top N filter, okay, the top 7 filter that I did here, okay, the top 7 filter that I did here is a static filter, okay. What it did is this particular field, it filtered top 7, okay. Now when I put any city as a filter, it will only change these values. It will not change the top 7 restaurants, okay, which is wrong, right? Which is not what we want, okay, because it is static filter. Okay, how to ensure that you get top 7 with respect to that particular city. You need to go and say, okay, whatever I'm filtering, let's say city I'm filtering, there's an option called add to context. You need to go and click this. Now, what happens is whenever top 7 is being calculated, it checks what city it is. Why does it check what city? Because we have added it to context. Okay. Normally, you don't require while you're operating multiple filters, but when you're doing top n filters, you would require. Now, when I search for Bangalore, okay, it shows me top 7 of Bangalore. You see, there are different restaurants being shown over here. Yes. Do you understand the previous filtering of Bangalore? The outcome from that and from now?
Varun, can you show by using the filter sheet, so how we have made these changes?
Which
Where we
one?
are putting the filter. Can you open the filter, how we are putting it and how we are getting the different
So this is the filter part. Okay, this is the
Okay.
section for filter. Okay, I'll do it once again and show. One moment.
Please clearly explain what we have did earlier and what we have done now.
Okay,
It's been jumbled for me. Sorry for asking again and again.
no worries, no worries. So you put restaurant's name here, right? And you put sum of sales. This first visualization is simple, clear?
Yeah, Varun, it's clear to me.
Yeah. Just click on the drop down. You go to filter. See, not necessary that every time you have to drag and put something in the filter.
Mhm.
Okay. When you click here and do filter, it will automatically come here. Okay.
Okay.
Now we go to top and see what are we filtering here? Restaurant
Restaurants.
names. Yeah. Now I'm saying filter top 10 restaurant names. Okay. Basis what? Sum of sales amount.
Okay.
Okay. Instead of top 10, I go top 7. I say go ahead and apply this. What has it filtered? Top 7 restaurants for me overall. Now I put city in filter. Okay. Now I put city in filter. I'll say show filter. Show filter is where I want to change. Okay. So filter is shown over here. When I filter for Bangalore, okay, wildcard, sorry. When I filter for Bangalore, what should it show? It should ideally show me top 7 restaurants of Bangalore, right? Is the expectation clear?
Yes,
It
clear.
should show top 7 of Bangalore. Why is it not showing? Why is it showing only 4? It is because when I said filter top 7, it already filtered. Okay. If I'm putting additional filters, this is not caring whatever additional filter I'm putting on the sheet. Okay. The top n functionality, right, doesn't care for additional filters that I put on the sheet. What is the additional filter that I put? I put city as a filter. Bangalore, it should have given me top 10, top 7, it didn't give. Mumbai, it should have given me top 7, it didn't give. Right? Instead, what it is doing is pan India top 7 restaurants, it's filtering. Okay. And then whenever I put a city filter, only for those restaurants, whatever data is available in that city, it is showcasing. Okay. Which is wrong. It's ideally saying that who are the top 2 richest people? Ambani, Adani. Okay. When I filter for Bangalore, it is showing me, okay, Ambani, Adani, they have filtered. They have not filtered everything, anything else. They're just showing Ambani, Adani's wealth in Bangalore. And that is not something that I want. I want in Bangalore who are the top 2. Right? So in similar way, I want in a particular city, which are the top 7 restaurants. Okay. So when this top n filter is calculating top 7 restaurants, it doesn't care what other filters are being applied. For it to care other filters what is being applied, you need to go to that other filter and say add to context. And when you do that, what this will do is every time that filter is changed, the top 7 is freshly calculated. Okay.
Add to context. So, what is actually doing when we are doing add to context?
Yes. So this is a filter which is static filter. Top N is a static filter, right? It will not by itself consider that, hey, other filters are also applied. I should keep refreshing top 7. It doesn't consider that. It says, once you've given me top 7, I'll do top 7 and give it back to you. Okay. Now, if I wanted to consider, okay, consider other filters, I have to add other filters to context. Basically, what does add to context do? It says when I say add to context, here now it shows remove from context. I'll just do this. When I say add to context, right? So whenever something is being calculated, this filter has to be taken into context before calculating. So when this calculates top 7, this filter is taken into consideration. If I search, just say show filter. If I search for Pune, okay, this will again refresh. Top 7 will refresh, even though it is static. Why it will refresh? Because I've added city to add to context. So whenever I'm filtering city, it shows me top 7. A fresh top 7 for the city. Why? Because top N filter is a static filter. Okay.
Okay, so this is the case only with the top filter or any filter
Only with the
which we
top
are
filter.
only with the top filter. Okay, if we are using the other filter, that will behave normally if we are
Yes.
adding one or more.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that will not change. This is only for top N filter. Yeah, this is one of the commonly asked interview questions in Tableau. Okay. Top N is one kind of filter we learned, right? So we saw all the 4 kinds of filters: your general filter, your wildcard filter, your condition filter, your top N filter, right? Now we just saw text filters right here. Okay. Let us see, can we put order date in filters? Let us check. Order date, if I just put order date, it gives me different filters. Okay. Do you want to filters based on certain years, certain quarters, certain months, or do you just want to do it with a range of dates? Let's say we go ahead with range of dates and we say we apply and okay. And we say show filter here, right? We can use this as a filter. We change the dates. Only the values will change again, right? If you want this also to be considered in top N, you need to do add to context. Okay. So you can do date filter. You can also do age filter per se. Like this, numerical values. You can put here 19 to 25. Yeah. So you can change your values over here. So this is the place where you can do a lot of filtering. Okay. Your text filter, as I said, 4 ways. Then your order date filter, your uh, numerical filter, age filters, so on and so forth. Okay. Yes. Any doubts still here, folks?
And can you repeat this one? The
Which
right
one?
hand side, you have done age and order date filter.
Yes. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just put age over here. As you see, age is a measure. So when I try to put, it'll try to give me sum of age, but sum of age wouldn't make sense. So I need to take all values here Okay, go next. You have a range of values. Apply, do OK, and then show filter. Here you can change either through this bar or through this
Okay, got it.
can
Thanks.
input. Yeah, similar to even the order date as well. Let me see, I remove this. Order date also I can put it in filter, and I can say, hey, I don't want range of dates. I only want month specific years. So I can just do it like this. Apply. Okay. I can select certain months. Yeah, I can do this. Or I remove this. And let's say I just simply want range. Yeah, I can change the range like this. Okay. Let us say I just clear this here. Clear. Oh, sorry. I'll just take this. Let's say I just remove top end as a filter. This will show me all the restaurant names. I mean, this is a large data set, would take some time. But yeah. So you can put all the filters over here. If I'm not using the top end filter, okay, just showcasing it. Let's say I filter only for Pune. Yes. If I'm not using the top end filter, I don't need to add anything to context. Anything I change will automatically change the values over here. I don't need to add anything to the context. Is it clear?
Varun, I have a question.
Yes.
In the real world scenario,
Hmm.
do we directly, when we are like communicating with the stakeholders, so do we
Hmm.
directly show them the dashboard, or do we have to do some, I mean, this filter or some related things in the real time if they
Okay.
want?
Good question. So, see, this is just for everyone's context. I'm showing you the basic functionality first, and eventually we'll build the stakeholder friendly dashboard, right? In the dashboard, uh, see, when you're communicating, right, there are two ways you will communicate. Either you give them the dashboard, you give them all the filters, they can play around with the filters dashboard, they can make their own analysis. You keep updating the dashboard every week, right? This is what typically happens with your sales dashboard, your restaurant dashboard, etc. in an organization. Okay. The second way is if you're presenting to a leadership, right? You use a user story, right? The last option. So in user story, you can apply filters. You can apply in one of the slides, you can show without filter. In one of the slides, you can show with the filter, right? Uh, you would also have dashboard. So if someone wants to filter by themselves, check for some XYZ city or check for some particular date range or particular age group, etc., they are free to do that. You give them that flexibility. And you also have a story which is directly communicating to your leadership as to what your analysis is, right? So yeah, both the ways work. As I said, two different use cases, right? um, Suppose you are an analyst working for sales team, right? So let's say you have a sales dashboard. So say you update it every morning, right? Automatic update on dashboard through database. So every morning they open the dashboard, they look at it, they do some filters, they analyze, okay, which city is growing in sale, which city is not, what broke, what are the key metrics that broke, right? For example, in a food delivery platform, how was the traffic for one city versus some other city? So basically, people can check all those things, right? You can't give analysis for each city and make a presentation and give. That doesn't work, right? Then your presentation will be so huge. Yeah. So you just give that capability to them through a dashboard. They filter, they do it, they check, and yeah, and they filter whatever their use cases. They get the insight, they move ahead. Okay, this is a very interactive dashboard.
But could you also help me? I mean, with a few questions the
Yes.
stakeholders generally ask when we show them this W
Okay.
dashboards.
Can you tell me what stakeholder you're thinking about? There are two kinds of stakeholders, as I said.
Yeah.
One who's going to frequently use the dashboard, or the one whom you're presenting your analysis to.
Let's say the leadership and the product team.
Yes. Okay. So, for example, if they say, like, first, let's take this story case, right? Where the sales are dipping. Okay. They basically have asked you why are the sales dipping, what is causing it, etc. Right? Now, the way you do the presentation, right? The way it works in the real world is you make the presentation in Tableau only as a storyboard and share it with them. Okay. They go through it. So the way you have to communicate is sales is dipping month on month from starting till now. I'm just putting placeholder numbers, 40% dip. The sales dip goes along with user dip. The transacting users was also dripping by 40%. Now, the questions they typically ask you is, hey, why are the users dipping 40%? What kind of users are dipping? Are they of a particular age group? Are they of a particular cohort of single or married? Are they of particular gender? Are we seeing gender specific decline, or are we seeing educational qualification specific decline, or are we seeing income group decline? What is it, right? Are large families degrowing more, or short uh, small families degrowing more, etc.? So they'll have all these questions, right? So then you present to them that, hey, see, when we check cohorts, right, these are the cohorts which are degrowing the most. So we focus on these cohorts. Okay, so that builds the confidence. Okay, in this cohort, what is the reason, right? Or is it because the dip is more in a particular city? Okay, this city, what is the reason, right? So in the room, when you're with the CEO, right, you basically see in such a big meeting, right? Because this is explaining the sales dip. Sales is a big metric for an organization. So you'll have all your key stakeholders, right? Your marketing team, your product team, your engineering team, your supply restaurant account management team, which is called a supply, your customer experience team, your business team, and your analytics team, which you are a part of. Uh, the the ideal thing to do is, see, eventually there has to be some accountability in the room, right? That, okay, you can't say that you do this, everyone has to do something or the other and get the sales back up, right? That is almost not going to easily happen. You know that if the sales is dipping, there are 2 3 major reasons. Okay, there's a rule called Pareto. Typically 80% of the output comes from 20% of the inputs, right? So this dip would have been caused by a few departments. Okay, now either the way you have to make your presentation is either you have to lead it to a particular department who is one of the core reasons for the dip, right? It could be the marketing team who's not marketing well enough, or it could be a restaurant account management team because of which the number of restaurants have dipped, or it could be customer experience team because of which the ratings are low and the response is unsatisfactory, right? So it can be any of these reasons. So you have to look at the data, you have to find insights, and you have to quickly move to, okay, what department is the core reason, right? The core RC and the deep dive, who does it point to? Okay, and what should they do? Point to doesn't mean it has to be a ugly fight, right, in the room. Okay, which department is responsible for the RCA, and what does that department have to do, and what is your recommendation, right? So this whole flow is what they're looking at. The room is clearly expecting, at the end of meeting, they are expecting specific actions based on data. Okay. And
So we have to show the findings as well as we have to tell them the required actions expected
yes,
from specific teams.
yes. Now, the problem would be it is not going to be a smooth flow.
Yeah.
Why? Because when you tell that a particular team has to do action, those teams will ask you XYZ questions, right? Hey, but did you check this? Did you check this? They can also be responsible. This could have also been the reason. They bring out different hypotheses, right? So your preparation should be so solid that, okay, for example, if you just say, okay, sales is decreasing, number of users are decreasing, and number of restaurants are decreasing, and then you tell to restaurant account management team that, hey, because number of restaurants are decreasing, sales are decreasing. Do you think they'll just accept it and move ahead? No, they will say, no, but users are also dipping. No, how do you know that my restaurant dip is causing sales dip? Maybe the number of users are decreasing, that's why the restaurants are moving out of the platform. It could be that also. Maybe customer experience is bad. How are you saying that, etc.? So you'll get all these cross questions, right? So you need to have all those visualization which clearly communicate to the RCA, right? Your RCA would be questioned over there. That's where you will have to do slice and dice, and you will have to see what cohort of users have dipped, what cohort has not dipped. So you'll have to have that in-depth analysis and that visualization ready over there, right? So whatever hypothesis, see, you can't cover 100% of the things, but the more you prepare, the better you can answer, right? So whatever question is being thrown at you in the room, right? You, it is not ideal to say, hey, we'll do this analysis and come back. Then it reflects badly on you as an analyst that you have not done a thorough analysis, right? A thorough analyst would already have the answers. That's why the analyst is recommending actions. Okay, so any question that is thrown at you, your visualization should have options, slices, dices to basically check that hypothesis then and there. Does that answer your question? Or did I go on a
Yeah,
separate
yeah, yeah.
tangent?
Just one last question. I just
Yeah.
want to know, I mean, with one dashboard, we are only solving one problem, right?
Yes.
Oh.
You can have multiple dashboards.
And one
Organizations have
dashboard for
multiple
each
dashboards.
problem.
Not problem. You can say for each stakeholder, for each stakeholder, or for a different vertical or a category. For example, in Swiggy, right? Let's say with this data, you can have one dashboard for sales, one dashboard for user performance, one dashboard for a restaurant performance. All right. You can have separate for each of them, or you can club it. It depends on the use case. Who is going to use it? What are they going to use it in? Right. One thing which is very important before you develop dashboard is you understand your stakeholder, right? Typically, what happens is before building a dashboard, you get this request. The stakeholder says, this is my requirement. You ask 10, 15, 20 questions. How are you going to use? What are you going to look at? How are you going to make decisions? You basically stand in their shoes and understand what data they need to make decisions, how they look at, right? And then you try to create a dashboard accordingly. You build a wireframe, a skeletal wireframe saying, hey, I'll show this, I'll show this, I'll show this here, I'll give you these filters, I'll give you these cuts, etc. And then the stakeholder says, okay, fine. And then you both agree, and then you build the dashboard, right? That is how it usually works. And then that dashboard is utilized by the stakeholder who looks at sales daily, weekly, etc. Does their own RCA, okay, on a day-to-day basis, and they take actions.
All right. Thanks, Varun.
Okay, Manish. I think Gaurav, yeah, Gaurav.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Just a
So,
moment, Gaurav.
mm,
Till uh, the first session is almost done. Before others drop off, I'll quickly launch the poll. Yeah, yeah. Those who have questions can stay back. Yes, Gaurav.
yeah. So we saw that there is context. We
Mm-hmm.
saw that there is filter.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know that context would be used to sometimes like for a use case,
Mm-hmm.
get me the top 10
Mm-hmm.
uh, items of that
Mm-hmm.
list or that data. And
Yes.
filter would be used basically on any basis like uh, greater than or equals to or contains something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, add to context is basically if you are doing some static operation, right? What does static operation mean? That means it does the operation and it doesn't do it again. Correct?
Hmm.
Right.
Right.
Now, if you're filtering top seven, you want to you want it to filter top seven again and again. Correct?
Right. Right.
Whenever you're changing some filter. That is why you add to context. If you're
Okay.
if you're not doing a static filter, right? Top seven is a static filter. If you're not doing a static filter, you don't need to add to context. For example, I will present my screen and showcase you that. One moment. Okay, let us say I use a condition filter and not a top end filter. Okay,
Okay.
let us say I use a condition filter. I say sum of sales amount greater than 1 lakh, 1 lakh or maybe 50,000. Okay, now
Right.
age group, if I change, right, it will show me separately only. Yeah, you
Yes.
don't need to add age to context. Yes, yeah. The only reason why I need to do for a top end filter is not condition. You can check wildcard, etc. The only reason why I have to do top n is because it's a static filter. So when I click on this, and when I say top five, okay, then I'm just saying do top five and give me top five. Okay. Sorry, I'll remove all the filters once. Yes. Do top five, give me top five. It gave me top five now. Now I change age, etc. It will not change. My top five will not change. The sales amount will change. Okay.
Hmm.
Because what I filtered is the name. Okay. I have said give me top five names.
Hmm.
Just putting the top five names in one place.
Okay.
Done. Okay. Now I'm
Right.
not going back to that filter and again asking for top five. For me to go and
Right.
go back to the filter and again ask for top five, I need to put something in context.
Okay.
That's when
Got
it'll
it.
go back and do. Otherwise, it won't.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions, folks? So in the next session, right, what we are going to do is we will learn, we'll go a bit more into aggregation, sum, average, count, min, max, etc., median, so on and so forth. We'll do how to do count distinct, etc. We'll look at few date functions. We'll look at formatting of numbers, how to do rounding, ceiling, how to write a rupees, how to change the number of decimal points, how to express a number in thousand, right? Suppose if you have 98,563 as a value, how do you write it as 98K? How do you do formatting? How to use logical functions, if, else, when, etc. How to use text functions, string functions, split, etc., etc. For example, we'll use that to clean up the city names. As you saw, some city names were area, comma, city, so on and so forth. So we look at that, and at last we'll do table calculations, right? Instead of just saying, just representing sales amount, how do we uh, showcase, let's say, how do we rank? Okay. How do we rank? How do we write moving average? Or how do we do a distribution and say percent of total, percent of row, percent of column, etc. So we'll do all those things in the next session along with a bit more of visualization. Okay. Cool, folks. Thank you. We'll connect again at 2 p.m. Thanks. I look forward to more discussion, more interruption, more mistakes, and better learning for all of us. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.